Welcome, everybody, back to another exciting show of the About That Wallet podcast, where we help you build strong financial habits so that you can have the confidence of talking about money, hearing about money, and being in a room about money. So, today, what we're going to be talking about is how to negotiate lower interest rates on your credit cards. Welcome to the About That Wallet podcast show. All right. How was that? That was a lot better, you guys. All right. Thank you. So, one of the things I'm gonna just go down and run straight into it because I this really sucks. I feel so bad I couldn't do this sooner. All right, so one of the things that I'm just gonna have to do it this way. One of the things that I was talking about earlier was displaying an article regarding a from Forbes that was talking about more than a third. Let me get this right. More than a third of single parents in the US earn below $17 an hour. I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but I did not know this. This is like fresh out the press. Just heard about this today in the group chat that I was in. So, having this understanding is that, the reason why I talk about the show and the reason not talk about the show, the reason why I always bring up finances in this show and the reason why I started this whole podcast is because this is a problem. It is a problem inside the US that, people only make it $17 an hour. Granted, it depends on the location. $17 might be enough for what you need. However, they said in this article that there is something called the wage trap that I want to bring up. This wage trap actually has people, like, they did a study, I think back in 2012, where they were just taking about 1,800, yeah, I'm sorry, 181,891 workers who started working at low wage jobs in 2012. 60% of them actually stayed in that job. That means that over that population, that just people just like, okay, you know what? I want to stay at a $17 job. This is all I know. We don't know all the different variables. We don't know that if they were working a side job, if they had a side gig, if they were actually um, doing something, like were there life situations where they did not want to move to a whole new city or a whole new area to try to find work. So these are the things that are not in this particular article. However, they do talk about the type of industry that these people are working and that they're getting stuck at, which is they looking at the hospitality, food services, retail, and I mean, which are majority of them are low wage traps. Because a lot of times in retail, they get you, they pretty much getting the money back. They will say, hey, as an employee, you're getting 30 to 40% off this particular sale, or you get the little extra percentages. I was one of them. I worked at I guess you could say Best Buy. I don't care about Best Buy. So I used to work there. And one of the things that I noticed is that we used to get our percentages were about 40% off when I started working there. And so I can buy all the electronics and stuff like that, 40% off. I thought I was, doing it well. And I think at the time I was only making about $12 an hour. And I was practically giving them back the money that I just earned because I wanted to save some money. But in reality, if I would have just invested the money or just waited, really, because the way how technology moves, you buy, like, I bought a 1 gig flash drive for $100 when it first came out, and then the next year there was like 32 gigs for the same price. Like, if I just waited, it'd have been okay. However, the fact of the matter is that I was in that job and I love the perks. I love everything that I was getting. However, the pay was not there. Now, hospitality arena, for those of you who know people who actually work inside hotels and so forth, you know that they actually get flat rates for the employees. Either it might be $33, I think, a night, depending on where they stay. And also they get to pick different days that they can stay there. So these are the things that I want to bring up. Is like, what is keeping people there that's not being displayed inside the data? How, and more often, is that when we are in these positions, we have credit cards too. So we buying all of these perks and everything like that inside, with our paychecks. And sometimes we even use our credit cards because you know what? Hey, why not? This is the way how money works sometimes. And so we get into that trap where we feel as though this is all we know. This is all I have. And this is the reason why I started this podcast, is so that you can get out of this. I've got out of it. I would have stayed in it because I love the job. I love the coworkers and everything like that. But I needed more. And things open up people open up my eyes as I started talking to people more and more. I started asking questions. I started saying, like, hey, what do you do for your job? Or I'll ask my friends, started using my network. What do you do to make income? Like, what other things are you doing that is bringing you joy? So these are the things I want to look into, but also why I want to bring up the credit card negotiation process. And the reason why I want to bring up the credit card negotiation um, is because when it comes to uh, negotiating for your credit cards, you need to start thinking about your story. What is it that can set you up in the right way when you start talking to these companies uh, that will actually help you with your credit card interest? I'm gonna tell you a story. When I got out my long term relationship, I was canceling all my credit cards because I was felt as though I needed to get out of this relationship. I needed my peace of mind, and everything that I allowed her to do this. I had to also take part in my journey of this. Is that I allowed the credit card to be used up. Now, during that process of me canceling the credit cards and calling them up for help, they were like, "I will not help you until you're delinquent on your bills." And this is what the credit card company told me. I told them, I was like, bro, I have no money. I'm literally working at I think at the time I was a server, I was a bartender or whatever for a little bit, and I was still working my job. And having that job with the bartending on top of that, it was still not enough to cover the minimum balance across the board. So I called up each one of my credit cards. I was like, hey, because for me, I hate to be late on a bill. I do not like to be late. I hate paying the interest rates and everything like that. It's a pet peeve of mine. I just hate it. One of the things that they told me, like I said before, is that they will not help you until you actually pay off, like you're delinquent. This is a strategy not for everybody, because you got to get good with your finances first. I called them up. Hey, I need some help. One person said that they can't do that, but what they did say is that we can put you on a plan. We can get your percentage rate down from 29% down to 4%. I was like, thank you. So when they were able to do that, they sent me a letter and saying like, hey, but during this process, we're going to have to close your account, but you'll be able to pay everything off at 4%. And I was like, great. And they was like, cool. And even though they said that over the phone, I waited until I got that mailer to say, hey, we agree upon these terms. And I started my payment on that date that was specified in the form. So you need to be very careful when you're talking about this stuff, because this could actually impact your credit further. So I'm just to let you know how it was back. Let's see, it's a long time ago. I'll say easily 8 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. These are the things that I want to share with you. It's like it's doable, but with a caveat, because a lot of us out here run around with these high credit card interest rates, but don't know how to negotiate. The first thing, obviously, is that you need to call them and let them know, hey, I have a problem. Can you help me? Each credit card is different. I can tell you that because one other credit card actually dropped my interest rate from 29% down to 0%. And I was able to pay the whole thing out. Like I had the money because I put it off to the side as I was building up, because they told me I can't pay them anyway for 3 months. So I was just saving the money anyway, putting it off to an account. And then when the payment started, I was able to dump all of it into that account, even though they gave me some terms. I think they like 5 years at 4%. Another one gave me 6 years at 0%. And my third credit card that I closed, um, I think they brought it down to like 12% from, I think it was like 27% down to 12%, just because all I had to do was just call them up. But then I was like, hey, I want to keep good faith. And one of them were able to close the account and do not show that I was delinquent, so that I can go ahead on and agree to the terms. So in your credit card statement, or if you look at your credit bureau statements that you get every year, your credit report, that's what it is. So on your credit report, it would actually show, hey, user paid off credit card based on terms agreed. And then so it still looks positive on your credit score. So everything will still work out, and you can do this on your own. Just have a phone conversation with them. I highly recommend to do this on your own, to walk through it, mostly because you don't have to pay anybody to make a phone call. It's your bill. You bought the stuff. Own up to it. But own up to these things. It comes at a cost. Just remember, these caveats are important. So I'm gonna actually throw up a little quiz inside the chat. But for those of you who are listening via audio, the question is true, true or false? You should only consider negotiating interest rates if you're behind on payments. And I want you guys to think about that. True or false? Because one of those things is that, because one of the things that you want to think about is there something that you should only negotiate after your payments are behind, or should you start doing this before? And the answer is false. You should not wait until you're behind on payments to negotiate interest rates on your credit card. Because when you're behind, it's almost like, well, you didn't care about them in the first place. So now it's just going to make it more difficult for you to negotiate a lower interest rate in the future. And plus, credit card companies uh, are more likely to be receptive to negotiations if you don't even have good payment history. Like I had great payment history, like I say at least easily 5 years of good payments. And I'm like, hey, you guys been there for me like all these years. Can you really help me out? Like I've changed jobs, my life situation has changed, and this is what's going on. So you can actually have these verbal conversations. You don't even have to do anything that's too strenuous outside of what you're currently doing. And with that, I actually partnered with, hey, Lisa, you got it right. Good job. So let me see if I got my little round of applause for you here. Let's get that. Good job, Lisa. So, one of the things is that I did partner up with a particular, I would say, group called what's the name of this group? I have it in my show notes. I'm so bad with these. I'm bad with commercials, so I'm actually trying to do one for the first time. So bear with me, you guys. Um, and they've been really helpful with these commercials. Like I had to come with a whole script and everything like that. So that you guys are actually going to get the first read of the script. And then once I get better at it, it'll feel a little better. You guys get to see all of the fun things. And so let me see if I can get the website up so that you can do it, because this is a cool tool. Let's see if I can paste it up in here and share my screen. Share this tab. Okay. Let me go on and get this going. Since we're talking about credit, and I gotta get my little verbal. So for those, like, I'm gonna try to edit this out for the verbal side. Because for the audio, I'm gonna have to clean this particular episode up tonight. I feel so bad that it didn't work out the first time. Let's see. Where is my thing? I do apologize, you guys. Let me go on and play some music in the background just so I can get ready. And I'm gonna just say some technical difficulty stuff while y'all listening. Play this website audio. Where am I at? I do apologize, you guys. I feel so bad. There we go. All right, just give me about 30 seconds and to get this thing. All right, be right back. All right. Okay, I got it. All right, so here we go. My little commercial, so you guys can see it. All right. Let me see if I get some music in the background. Get this going. So bear with me here. Let's see. All right. So you've been working hard, saving for a house, putting in the extra hours, but that pre-approval letter not quite what you're hoping for. Let's face it, credit scores can be confusing. They can be errors bringing yours down, hidden blemishes you can't see. That's where Consumer Direct Credit comes in. Smartcredit.com/ATW lets you access your credit and identify potential mistakes. Fix them yourself, and that could mean a significantly better mortgage rate on your dream home. Think about it. Thousands saved over the life of your loan. Won't that be a game changer? Take control over your credit today. Visit creditscore.com/ATW. Consumer Direct Credit. Fight for the credit you deserve. All right, get out there and start as low as $1 today. What do you guys think about that? I think that's my first, read for a credit card. Solution. I think they provide some really cool information. Easy scores and everything like that. I did enjoy it. They gave me some B-roll stuff, and you guys can have at it. Check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Sign up today and get that going. Since we're talking about credit cards, one of the guys also I got provided some information. Since we're talking about credit cards in your story, what I'm gonna do is share with you guys a nice little video. If I can get this going, um, is about how to do your Chat GPT prompts like a professional. Now you guys feel like, well, I already use Chat GPT. I really use it already. So, and one of the guys that I have like that I know in my group chat had actually posted up a video on how to create an amazing uh group chat, I mean not group chat, an amazing prompt every time. And I really want to share that with you all. Just give me one moment here because there's so much to do. I feel so bad for you guys. Um see, are you actually like the what's the name? Do you like the credit card read? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying my best over here. Or are you excited about this chat GPT prompt? Let me know. I'm curious. Let's see what we got. All right, let me pause it. Get this going. I got a lot of editing to do, you guys. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see. Share this tab instead. All right. All right. All right. So do a live review here. Give this guy a thumbs up. All right, let's see what he got to say. He got like 9 minutes, but we're gonna fly through. So he's trying to say how to master the perfect Chat GPT prompt formula.
You want to know why ChatGPT sounds so robotic and generic? It's because you don't know how to write prompts. So in this video, I'm going to be covering my 4-step framework for writing perfect ChatGPT prompts every single time. It's the same exact framework I've taught over 2,200 realtors and business owners leverage AI and ChatGPT to save them time, energy, and money. I've used this prompt for myself to host webinars, to do client appreciation events, to create email sequences, to create landing page copy. I've used this framework over and over again. And because I know AI can be confusing, especially if you're not tech savvy, I actually created an AI starter kit where it has my top 10 prompts. And once you learn this framework, it's going to be what even is a prompt. The second is what is prompt engineering. Third is going to be my 4-step framework called the RACE method. Once you learn this framework, I promise you'll never struggle using ChatGPT ever again. And if you stick around all the way to the end, I actually had a bonus tip for you guys. So make sure to watch the video all the way through.
Or we can just skip to the end. Let's see what he got. What's the bonus tip since he labels all the fun stuff? Yeah, just go play.
Without further ado, let's get right into secret number 1. What is a prompt? Now, think of it like this. When you're at a restaurant and you put in an order, the order tells the chef what to make. And depending on what you order, determines what the chef makes. When you're using ChatGPT, a prompt is kind of like the same thing. So think of a prompt kind of like putting an order into ChatGPT. Now, secret number 2, what is prompt engineering? So a lot of people, when they first start using AI tools like ChatGPT, they have no tech experience before, they have no AI experience, and they just get kind of thrown into the middle of the ocean. And now they have ChatGPT and they don't know what to write. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to work it because ChatGPT has too many potential outcomes. It has too many use cases. It's like, what do you use it for? And so with ChatGPT, it definitely overwhelms a lot of people from using it because they don't.
Now, one of the things that we're going to be using ChatGPT for is kind of figure out a way, how can we start negotiating our interest rates for our credit cards? So I think this will be good. So Sierra, hopefully we can work this out. It's ChatGPT. What's it called? Yeah, G as in Georgia, P as in Paul, T as in tattoo. All right.
Know where to start or what to type in. So like prompt engineering I'd like to think of it as like the art and science of writing prompts, right? Yes, you can just type into ChatGPT, write me a 3-step email campaign, write me a listing description, and it'll come up with something. But if you use the right framework, which is what I'm going to share in the next step, ChatGPT will produce more personalized responses. It'll produce higher quality responses and so much more. So when you learn how to prompt engineer, back to the Spain example, it's like learning how to speak Spanish. The more Spanish you know, the better off you'll be. The better you know how to prompt engineer, the better responses you'll get. And so that leads us into step number 3, the RACE method, right? Secret number 3, the RACE method. A lot of people have different methods for prompt engineering, but this is the one that I've been using for the past year or so that I found the best results with. It stands for role, action, context, and expectation, right? That is the RACE method: role, action, context, expectation. And so step number 1, role. I remember a while ago, I was using ChatGPT and like probably, and so I started to get a little creative, and I was like, yeah, like what if I told ChatGPT to act as a social media marketer? And then I wrote out my prompt. I hit enter, and all of a sudden, boom, ChatGPT started coming up with better responses. It started being a lot more creative with its outputs. Then I started getting a little bit more creative. I started thinking about like, who are my favorite marketers? So act as you to give me responses as if it were Russell Brunson. So in the first part, I told her to act as a specific role, a social media marketer. But then I got a little bit more creative, and I told her to act as my favorite marketer, which is an actual person, Russell Brunson. And ChatGPT was trained already. I had some information on Russell, and so it started producing responses similar. They charge a lot of money for consulting. It's hard to get one-on-one time with them. And so I remember I typed into ChatGPT. I was like, imagine, you're Dan Kennedy, and I just paid you emails. I was like, what suggestion would you give me?
I'm sorry. I just like to speed through to get to what is the actual prompts here. So, let's see. Share this tab. All right. Well, I mean, you talk about the RACE method, which is the role. What role do we want to give ChatGPT in this particular instance, right? So let's zoom in. What role do we want to give it? Let's say act as a concerned, what do you call it? Concerned citizen. Act as a person who has just lost their job and looking to lower their credit score, their credit percentage rate. Their percentage rate. Okay, so let's go back to this video. And he said race. So the next one, it said we gave him a role, the action. So what's the action that we want to give ChatGPT? So we already gave him the action. The action is to write a script, because we got to make this phone call. Write a script to tell the credit card receptionist to lower our credit rate. Now he says let's see what it is. Now he said give him context. I think context and expectations. Let's see what else he got. He didn't chop it up, so let's kind of skip through. See.
Listing description. Is it a mailer? Right. So step number 1 is the role. Step number 2 is the action. Step number 3 now is context. So I always say ChatGPT is trained on 1 trillion data points, but it's not trained on you. And so you have to give ChatGPT a little bit of details as to who you are, what you do, who you're looking to serve, so that it has context on how to respond. For example, if I said, "What's the quickest way to make $1,000?" you may come up with a whole bunch of different business ideas for me to start. But what if I said, "What's the quickest way to make $1,000? I only have one day and it has to be ethical." Boom. Now your response is going to be a lot more specific.
Okay, so the context now that we're going to use for this one is that we have, um, well, we already got to say it's a person who lowered the job rate, whatever. Well, act as a person who lost their job, looking to lower their credit rate. So that's the role. Now we also gave them the action. Now we gotta give it exactly what, let's see, the content. Uh, let's see, we lost our job 1 week ago. Lost our job yesterday. The credit, the bill is due in 14 days. At I don't know. Let's still let's say what a credit card. Let's say it's about $120 for the credit card. They got a high interest rate. Okay. Um, the bill was never late, and we do not want to be late. The reason why I say it's never been late and we don't want to be late is because this will help out with the context of what we want the prompt to say. I know this is kind of rumbling on, but let's see what else he said. What else is next?
Quickest way to make $1,000. And the more context you can give it, the more personalized its response. So if ChatGPT sounds robotic to you, you're probably not giving it any context. That's step number 3. And step number 4 is expectation. A lot of people think just because it's AI that it's going to automatically understand and interpret what they are saying in the way they want it to be interpreted. But if anyone has ever argued in the text messages before, it's very easily to misinterpret someone's message. And that's the same thing with ChatGPT. So one of the things I do at the end of my prompts is I'll say, "Do you understand? Question mark. If so, please provide an example." That way, me and ChatGPT are on the same exact page and that we're clear. And so that's the 4-step framework, right? Role, action, context, expectation. So let's say I was going to work on writing a social media script for a video. I say, "Hey, ChatGPT, imagine you are a social media influencer. I want you to create a video reel on how AI is beneficial to real estate."
Okay, so we got that understanding. All right, so now that he kind of explained that a little bit more, the bill is never late, blah blah. So this is our context, and um, what else? The expectations. Um, we expect. I don't know. Just keep it there. Let's see what it comes with. Okay, so here's the script. "Hi, my name is blah blah," because obviously you got to call the receptionist. And I like how it does the play by play. So this will allow you to actually say or kind of expect what their response is going to be. So because I'm gonna read this only because there are people who are only listening to this for the audio. I know some of you are watching live right now. So what it says here is that, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah." Well, I could just say my name. "Hey, hi, my name is Anthony, and I have an account with your credit card services. I'm calling to discuss my current situation and see if there might be any assistance available to help me manage my payments." And the receptionist will say, "Sure." I'm gonna see if let me get my voice going. Let me see if I can get a deep voice guy for the receptionist. "Sure, I'll be happy to help. Can you please provide your account number and verify your identity?" "Yes, my account number is blah, blah, blah. And I can verify with blah, blah, blah." "Thank you for that. How can I assist you today?" Unfortunately, I lost my job yesterday and I'm now facing some financial difficulties. My next bill of $120 is due in 14 days. I have never been late on my payment and I really want to start now. And I really don't want to start now. Given my current situation, I'm hoping to see if it's possible to lower my credit card interest rate. Would you This will help me manage my payments better while I research for new employment. Receptionist. I'm sorry to hear about your situation. Let me check what options might be available to you. Please hold for a moment. And then you get your hold music. Let's see, play my hold music. Thank you for waiting. I've reviewed your account and since you've been a good customer with on-time payments, we can offer you a lower interest rate of 6% for your next time period in next month. Would this help your current situation? And then I'll be like, that will be very helpful. Thank you. Could you also confirm any additional steps I need to take or any options available to me during this difficult period? The receptionist. Sure. I'll send you an email with the details and any additional steps. If you need further assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And then me, thank you so much for your help and understanding. I really appreciate it, receptionist. You're welcome. We're here to help. Have a great day. And I was like, you too. Goodbye. And this is pretty much the way how it all works. I think I did a pretty good job with that. Well, I'm not sure what you guys think. What you guys think? Yeah. I try to do a little voice acting myself, from time to time. But anyway, this is practically how it goes down. You tell them your situation, you have a hard time. And if you ever have an issue, you can always go to ChatGPT or any other of those particular AI tools to kind of help you out negotiate with these things. So I wanted to share with you all again. You're never stuck with the interest rate. Everything's negotiable. If you're actually having issues negotiating or like to read a book about negotiating, this book I highly recommend to get. It's called Never Split the Difference. Negotiating as if your life depends on it by Chris Voss. He is actually a negotiator for the FBI, helping people talk themselves off the ledge and killing themselves and killing everybody else and hurting so many people. But he has really good strategies on how to innovate your speaking and innovate the way how you actually convey yourself to others. With that being said, I just want to say it's been a pleasure. Oh, I think this will conclude this particular episode. I do have some other things coming up. For those of you who know, I am a speaker at Podcast Movement in DC. Isn't that exciting, you guys? Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up. Movement DC. Let's get this going. All right. Okay, so just want to share this with you all since you guys stayed to the end. I am officially a speaker. So what that means is I can check out the speaker page and go to speakers, search for my name. Boom, look at your boy, like just chilling. You know what I'm saying? It's me. So I'll be a speaker at Podcast Movement this year. This will be my second time speaking at Podcast Movement as a whole, but this will be my first time speaking at Podcast Movement as the movement big one because they do host 2 conferences a year, one in the beginning of the year called Podcast Movement Evolutions, which is more like the industry side of the house. And this one is more so about just podcasters in general. So if you either a new podcaster or thinking about being a podcaster, already an experienced podcaster, and you want to elevate your craft, this is the place to be. What I will be talking about is about how to beat the clock, the simple time hacks for busy people. And what that means is that I'm trying to help people who are actually going through burnout and helping them like strategize on how they doing behind the scenes things with their particular uh, podcasts and stuff like that. Because I have a lot of systems where that keeps me entertained, and how I'm able to actually produce all of these episodes in high volume. Now, there's also talking about the quality and stuff like that. So sometimes I could just take a sit back and actually do more quality besides doing all these quantity things and doing episodes coming out live and everything like that. I come live mostly because I actually want to connect with you more. I want to connect with uh, those of you who haven't chat with me or leave comments inside the live, not the live chat, who doesn't like share out the episodes, but I know you're listening. It's just that I don't know how frequently you're listening, what things that I can help you guys out with, and stuff like that. So it's good to have real time feedback so that we can get this going. So I just wanted to share that with you all that this is one of the latest things that came out, and I'm just super excited for this speaking opportunity. And yeah, I hope everybody is having a good day and continue to stay safe. And if there's any other questions or concerns, please reach out to me and hopefully we can try to do more research on it. I do apologize for technical difficulties in the beginning. So I will be editing this particular episode and it probably won't look right when it gets released, but we're going to see what happens. All right, everybody. I'm out. Peace. And y'all know I always have troubles with my outros. There we go.